One day, Samson went to the Philistine city of Gaza and spent the night with a prostitute. Once again, Samson showed no interest in living a moral life. Word soon spread that he had been seen in the city, so the police were alerted, and many men in the city lay in wait all night at the city gate to capture him if he tried to leave.
In the morning, when there is enough light, we will find him and kill him.
Samson stayed in bed with the girl until midnight, then went out to the city gates and lifted them up, with the 2 gateposts right out of the ground. He put them on his shoulders and carried them to the top of the mountain across from Hebron. It is believed that Samson carried those gateposts for about 40 miles. It symbolized the fact that the Philistines' reign as the rulers over Israel was only going to last so much longer. Later on, he fell in love with a girl named Delilah, who lived in the valley of Sarek, which was on the border of Philistia and the territory of the tribe of Dan. Ah, Delilah. In Samson's story, she is the only woman named, and it's a name that has rung down through the ages. She came to symbolize the seductive and cunning woman who could lead a man to trouble. The 5 heads of the Philistine nation went personally to her and demanded that she find out from Samson what made him so strong, so that they would know how to overpower him and subdue him, and put him in chains.
Each of us will give you 1,000 silver coins for the job.
It has been suggested that Delilah was a foreshadowing of Judas Iscariot, who in about 1,000 years would betray his master for a price. So Delilah begged Samson to tell her his secret.
Please tell me, Samson, why are you so strong? I don't think anyone could ever capture you.
If I were tied with 7 raw leather bowstrings, I would be as weak as everyone else.
Samson decided to toy with his great love. So they brought her 7 leather bowstrings, and while he slept, she tied him up. Some men were hiding in the next room, so as soon as she had tied him up, she exclaimed,
Samson, the Philistines are here.
Then he snapped the bowstrings like cotton thread, and so his secret was not discovered. At this point, Samson must have had some idea that Delilah was up to something. Was he so blinded by love that he just didn't care? Afterwards, Delilah said to him,
You're making fun of me. You told me a lie. Please tell me, how can you be captured?
If I am tied with brand new ropes, which have never been used, I will be as weak as other men.
So, as he slept, Delilah took new ropes and tied him up. The men were hiding in the next room as before. Again, Delilah exclaimed,
Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you.
But he broke the ropes from his arms like spider webs. Delilah and the powers that be of the Philistines were so desperate to find out Samson's secret that they would believe anything.
You have mocked me again and told me more lies. Now tell me, how can you be captured?
Well, if you weave my hair into your loom.
A loom is a device for weaving fabrics. So while he slept, she did just that, and yelled,
The Philistines have come, Samson.
And he woke up and yanked his hair away, breaking the loom. I think Samson was actually having fun.
How can you say you love me when you don't confide in me? You've made fun of me 3 times now, and you still haven't told me what makes you so strong.
She nagged him every day until he couldn't stand it any longer, and he finally told her his secret.
My hair has never been cut, for I have been a Nazirite for God since before my birth. If my hair were cut, my strength would leave me, and I would be as weak as anyone else.
Samson gave away his priceless secret because his girlfriend nagged at him? His love for her was a weakness, and, as it turned out, a costly one. Delilah realized that he finally told her the truth, so she sent for the 5 Philistine leaders.
Come just this once more, for this time he has told me everything.
So they brought the money with them. She lulled Samson to sleep with his head in her lap, and they brought in a barber who cut off his hair. Imagine being a barber in the land of the Philistines, and you're called in to make perhaps the most famous haircut in history. Delilah began to subdue him, but she could see that his strength was leaving him. Then she screamed,
The Philistines are here to capture you.
and he woke up and thought,
I will do as before. I will shake myself free.
but he didn't realize that the Lord had left him. Samson had made some unwise decisions in his life, but now his time had run out. So the Philistines captured him and gouged out his eyes and took him to Gaza, where he was bound in bronze chains and made to grind grain in the prison. But before long, his hair began to grow out again. The Philistine leaders declared a great festival to celebrate the capture of Samson. The people made sacrifices to their god Dagon and excitedly praised him. Dagon was a god of agriculture and fertility.
Our God has delivered our enemy Samson to us. The scourge of our nation, who killed so many of us, is now in our power.
Half drunk by now, the people demanded,
Bring out Samson so that we can have some fun with him.
the Philistines had waited a long time to get even with this one-man wrecking crew. So he was brought out from the prison and made to stand at the center of the temple, between 2 pillars supporting the roof. Of all the places he could have been standing, Samson said to the boy who was leading him by the hand,
Place my hands against the 2 pillars. I want to rest against them.
By then, the temple was completely filled with people. The 5 Philistine leaders were there, as well as 3,000 people in the balconies, who were watching Samson and making fun of him. Then Samson prayed to the Lord and said,
O Lord Jehovah, remember me again. Please strengthen me one more time, so that I may pay back the Philistines for the loss of at least one of my eyes.
The Lord had left Samson, but his final prayer would be answered. Samson pushed against the pillars with all his might.
Let me die with the Philistines.
And the temple crashed down upon the Philistine leaders and all the people. So those he killed at the moment of his death were more than those he had killed during his entire lifetime. Later, his brothers and other relatives came down to get his body, and they brought him back home and buried him near his father and mother. He had led Israel for 20 years. Samson's story forever remains a cautionary tale about the repercussions of impulsive actions, falling victim to temptation, having a lack of self-control, as well as the price of an inflated ego. And it also shows that God uses anyone, even an earthy hothead like Samson. Though it's hard to believe, Samson is seen as a foreshadowing of Christ. They were both announced before birth by an angel of the Lord. They were both betrayed and sold out by a close confidant. They both died sacrificial deaths. But Samson was not the Son of God. He was arrogant instead of humble, vengeful instead of forgiving, extremely sinful instead of sinless. But despite being a man of unruly character, he is listed in Hebrews as one of the great men and women of the Bible, and remains the only man in the history of mankind to kill 1,000 bad guys with the jawbone of a donkey.